What's up, everybody? Today we're going to build a budget drift car with only $4,000 in just 2 months for drift season 2024. Some of you guys might be wondering, like, dang, Evan, don't you already have a drift car you're building? That's true, I do already have a drift car. But it's very expensive, and this is going to be a budget build. And what I mean by that is this is going to get the cheapest parts that are reliable to keep me on the racetrack this year. And like many of us, I didn't keep my race car / drift cars simple, so it's not done. Really, the problem with that is, if you can see it back there, it's going to cost me way too much money to finish it this year for the season, being we only have about 2 months left before it starts to get warm. So I introduced this E36 that we're going to be building on the channel. Now we have a whole bunch of parts already ordered, doing a lot of things with this vehicle. Obviously hydro e-brake, we're going to be doing angle kit, super easy, new diff, new axles, 5x1 14.3 conversion, as well as coilovers and even over fenders. So should be a fun time. I'm going to document all of it and really just give you my opinion on how it all goes. Now, if I was you guys, I definitely would never have started out with a 318. This is a 318 E36. It comes with all the small parts. It's not the good car to start with. There's a video on it. Chelsea Denofa does a video that explains all this. This isn't what you want to do, but I got it for free. Just like me, you could probably pick one of these cars up for really cheap with the manual. There's just going to be a lot of extra parts you're going to have to buy for it. So this episode, we're going to clean this car out, get all the trash out of it, maybe go over some parts and prep. I think we're gonna do the diff first and kind of just go from there. Once again, don't do as I do, buy a 328 and start there. But once again, this is free. Really can't beat free, in my case. Now really the only saving grace with this car is that it already has an M50 swap. We swapped this car maybe 8 years ago, maybe a little less. We've had it for a long time. If this was a 4-cylinder car, there is no way that I would continue on with this without swapping it. But being as we already got an M50 in it, that saves us a lot of money and time. We are gonna have to pull it out still to do the oil pump nut. We're gonna weld it to make sure it doesn't come off. And a couple other things, maybe check the clutch, because honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember if it's good or bad. Now I have the attention span of an Olive Garden breadstick, so hopefully we can fix this thing and get it ready to go, because my ADHD will only let me hyperfocus for so long. So we're gonna have to move quick. Like I said, I mentioned, drift season is only about 2 months away, so I really need to get this thing together so I don't have to be sitting on the sidelines this year, hopefully. Now sitting in this thing, this isn't so bad. Honestly, I thought the interior was gonna be way worse than it is. I'm just gonna full gut this thing, but other than the headliner, not bad. Not really the biggest fan of the brown, but hey, can't be too upset, right? All right, we're gonna go over some of the parts we got that we're gonna put on here soon. Let's see, we'll go over the parts that were in the car first and see what we're gonna need for this build. All right, so as you can see, we got a red label ECU. That's awesome. Told those are the best ones. I'm not sure. Mishimoto expansion tank. Looks like we got some hoses, some coil on plugs, an intake, and some pulley and stuff. So we're not starting off too bad, I guess. Right now, we're gonna need a lot more parts. Probably have to go to junkyard a lot. But yeah, I'd say we're doing pretty good. So we're gonna get this thing on jack stands, get this thing all up in the air and get ready, and we're gonna pull a diff first. Like I said, I got a new diff for this. This is a small case car, being it's a 318. So it came with a real weak diff. Generally, they only last a couple clutch kicks, but it is an LSD, so that's gonna work out well for me. If I ever wanna make this a time attack car or something like that later on in line. When we got new medium case axles and spacers, and we'll go over all the prices and we'll keep track of all that. Like I said, our budget is $4,000. Now, I'm pretty sure I spent more than $4,000. You can buy a good version of these things for like $4,200 maybe, and not have to do a lot of the stuff I'm gonna do, but you'll still have to put coilovers on it, weld the diff, and things like that. So we'll see what we come out with. I'll keep a tally on all the stuff we make and all the stuff we buy, and we'll go from there. All right, let's take a look at a couple of the parts that we have. These are the parts that we're gonna do in next build or next video on part 2. For starters, we have this differential here. This is a 391 diff. What's in the car now is a 345 LSD, and we're gonna do a welded diff on this car. We got these nice weld-in pieces here, if we can focus. There's the part number there. This is for E36 diff, so we can weld the bush or weld the diff. You see here, these are axle spacers. I'll give you the price on all these as I go. New axle bolts, new axles, and the big thing is rev shift. We ordered these bushings. Now these are their OEM Plus bushing, the least aggressive bushing they have. These are for the differential. So we're gonna be putting these things in. The goal is to keep the car alive. So we're not gonna do solid bushings or anything like that. We're trying to cushion as much as possible so we don't break anything. Remember, we want it to be reliable but cheap. So on video number 2, we're gonna be installing, we're gonna be removing the diff, cleaning everything up, putting new diff bushings in, as well as control arm bushings on the rear, and putting it all back together with a welded diff. So join us next time. I appreciate you watching this far, if you made it this far. Please like and subscribe. I hear that helps, but I don't actually know. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Peace.